Why do I have to fight for you to love me?
This is a moment to see if the grass is greener somewhere else.
And I say I'm burra, surra. Oh man, do I have to come back to the show again. Just can't stop thinking about the show lately. After I finished posting season 2, I knew I had to start with season 3 ASAP. This show has me hooked like I'm a pill popper, like I'm Bloodhound Q50 at this point. And when I knew this show was really good, was when I didn't have to look at my notes. I was just reacting real time in my room, just yapping to myself. You know it hit different.
It hit different. How about the cop?
When you start yapping to yourself and fucking talking to yourself. I think what showed my dedication to this show was the fact that I had to edit the last video for season 2 times. Guess what? Because YouTube copyright claims my stuff. Obviously, Netflix has to get its bag. But man, if you all know any tricks like to get this copyright stuff like done the correct way, like please comment, because yo, I'm dying. Season 2 was OG and deserves its S-class category. But let me tell you, Netflix stepped up its game in terms of drama this season. So if you're new here, here's the deal, right? There's couples, they show up here. One person is ready to get married and the other, let's call it, yeah, he's not down. They break up, date other people's exes. They move in together for like 3 weeks. It's called a trial marriage. Then come back to their original partners to decide whether they putting a ring on it, breaking up, or surprise plot. They go with someone new, which never really happens. It's like you're gambling with your relationship. Like I'm playing Betway at this point, but with better lighting and more cry. Yo. Okay, so let's meet our brave souls who thought, you know what, my relationship needs public humiliation and me to react to this video, to react to the show. And Netflix cameras, we've got Mariah and Caleb. She's 24, knows exactly what she wants, career driven, ready to get married. He's 29, apparently needs a reality TV show to figure out if he wants to marry someone he's been with for 2 years. I mean, 2 years isn't a lot. 2 years isn't a lot. I believe at least 5 to 10 years just to get to know like the person that you're dealing with. She's trying to get the ring before she goes on and hits like the wall. 30, you know that 30 wall? Which is a great choice for her because her prime's almost done. Like better soon than later, I guess. Mariah literally says, I believe in soulmates and wants to explore as much love as possible. Caleb pulls out the classic
So worried that she's in a rush for it, and her being younger than me is like, you know, enjoy life.
She's 24, but at 14, she can enjoy life and get married. These aren't mutually exclusive concepts. Then we have Vanessa and Dave. Vanessa wants to be someone's dream woman, building a life, you know, classic life stuff, you know, women like this stuff. Dave's out here moving slow. Yeah, he's not on that. He's not on that. I'm definitely not on that, but no. Aria and Scotty are giving us the classic. I'm not sure and I'm not certain like energy and stuff. Aria and Scotty have like a long distance relationship and neither of them are willing to go to the other partner's city. I think Aria should compromise in my opinion for her man. But do you know what's funny though? Like women would compromise moving to their job's location if needed, but not to their man's location. Tell me if I'm stupid. Tell me if I'm telling facts. Meanwhile, Scotty's one of only 2 men who issued the ultimatum. Which respect, I guess. JR and Zaina are the most mature couple here, which is saying something. This is JR. He looks like a physical specimen. And when I tell you JR caused the most amount of drama this season, and it's not necessarily his fault. Like the guy is attractive. He's objectively attractive. Pause. No diddy. Like based on women's standards of like male attraction and stuff like that, he might be up there. And this woman was throwing themselves left, right, and center just to get their partners to be jealous.
Have you ever had a dream that
and this man were in shambles because the man knew that if your girl was taken by JR, it's chai. That relationship is wraps. JR has been married before and got divorced. So he's cautious about round 2 because he knows he might get KO'd again. Because long story short, his ex cheated on him. So he has trust issues. Zaina is 32. And when I tell you, it's just so funny when I watch this woman, right? They know that their biological clock is ticking and they are not here for games. I'm telling you, Zaina is not here for games.
Have a totally different perspective, but being in your 30s, it hits
Like
different.
she literally says, I've never met someone like JR. You know she's yapping. And she says she's willing to walk away if they're not engaged.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
That's a lie. You know, you ain't walking away. You're going to force that man to get on one knee. That is that is ultimatum energy. Nah, that's freezing eggs energy right there. Nick and Sandy are our like the age gap couple. He's 38, she's 27. 10 years age gap isn't bad. And they're like the classic, he wants to settle down, she wants to party storyline. Nick's like, I just want a calm life. I just want to get home, like eat chow, while Sandy's still out here living her best life. And honestly, good for her. Because when I tell you, when you start hitting the wall at 30, and when I tell you this season, Sandy did Nick dirty. I was feeling sad for Nick, genuinely, because Sandy's timing was different. Like, because Nick brought her to the show, Sandy has like an excuse. So she's like, because he brought me to the show, he must deal with whatever comes with it. But also, Nick should have just saw the red flags.
The door after she was out at the clubs, and
But that's a compliment.
and it was. I knew
If
that
I'm drunk
I mattered.
calling you, that's a big compliment because I don't drunk call anybody.
What's the saying again? If you found her at the club, leave her at the club. Because I knew it was chai. I knew it was done when Sandy on the first night at the dinner table said, JR looks good. And finally we have Chanel and Micah. She issued the ultimatum because she's tired of being called wife without the actual commitment, without the ring. Like, to me, like, how is that going to change something? Like, you're already cohabitated. Maybe it might put a title behind it, but men don't really care about those stuff. So Micah apparently needs to figure out if she's ready to be a wife. I mean, she did say she is ready to be a wife. The math isn't that complicated. It's not like x is equals to x plus 2. After the initial introductions and the most awkward last night as couples, and you know you have to do some pillow talking. You know you have to, last day you have to do some pillow talking. Our couples officially break up and enter the speed dating phase. Speed dating phase, I can call this like the Hunger Games romantic edition. We get to go on dates with the people and get to establish connections, and immediately the drama here, you can see it creeping up. You can see the insecurities here. Sandy tells JR, I've never met someone who's so connected in such a quick time, and JR responds with the classic, we are so different but so similar. The Scorpio energy is strong with this too, and you can literally see Nick's soul leaving his body from across the room because he's seeing this. And Sandy and JR are getting really close. Yo, it's only the second day. It's only the second day of the speed dating. The first day, Sandy was throwing game on this at Disney. Was throwing game at JR.
Scorpio before.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's been on my list.
And when I tell you JR is having a buffet, almost all the African American girls wanted to have a connection with JR. And he's just taking a bite of each cuisine, which I don't blame. I would have done the same. But you would have done the same also. Episode 2, we see Micah is immediately gravitating to Mariah, and she's like calm, and there's like this natural chemistry that honestly makes sense. They're both at the similar life stages and have this calm energy that clicks. Chanel is exploring her options with Dave, and you can see her gravitating towards his like go with the flow personality. Honestly, friends rather than relationships. Like, I don't see it forming more than so. You know, I have to compliment one of the girls before I start hammering this woman in this season. But Chanel really looks good. Probably my type out of all the seasons. Vanessa and Nick are bonding over their own school experience and how everyone doesn't understand their minds because they're so artistic. And this becomes like a connection over and over. This just kind of pops up like, oh yeah, I'm so quirky, I'm so weird. I mean, good for them, good for them. Okay, Caleb and Aria's situation is developing quite well. But here's where it gets spicy. Oh, spicy mamacita. Ina and Scotty connect because like they have issued the ultimatums to their partners. So it wouldn't make sense for them to go for someone who isn't at that stage of getting married also, because they're the ones who issued the ultimatum. When I tell you Arya gets upset, because Scotty's holding hands with Zaina and it's only day one. This is day one. This happens day one. Right in front of her. Like, sir, read the room. You issued an ultimatum to this woman.
Giving me lots of compliments. I really appreciate that.
And now you're out here playing hands with someone else. The audacity. But yeah, let's be real. I'm a deba my boy Scotty. Because sometimes you have to show that they don't get too comfortable. What did you just say?
Like, if you're gonna get physical, do it not in front of my face.
Arya, come on. I have never disrespected you.
Personally, I don't think you should have done it this early because it's just the first day of the speed dating. Episode 3 gives us the choice ceremony, and honey, this is where the real chaos begins. When people have to choose their trial marriages partners after 1 week of dating on steroids, our contestants have to choose who they want to do a trial marriage with. So the choices get made and we get some interesting patterns, but most of them were just like, yeah, I knew it was going to happen. So Sandy and JR. JR chooses Sandy, Sandy chooses JR. JR had so many options for him. I feel like he was just having a problem of choosing who to choose as the main, who's like the best main course. But I have to give it to Sandy. She was throwing the A and this man folded. I probably could have folded also. And yo, in episode 2, so it's day 2 of the speed dating, they kissed, which was crazy to me. But this shows that Sadie, she was willing to get dirty. So Sadie chooses JR and says that she has found it easier to open up with JR compared to Nick, and Nick is devastated. He's just sad and you can see the pain in his eyes. And Nick also feels that the connection between JR and Sandy is just too fast and seems very superficial, which Sandy immediately protects and rejects and protects their relationship. And she's saying that yeah, you are jealous. Like
Eye contact, that's something that's I'm not really good at.
Well, you seem to be fine with it. The both of you showed up here with partners that were ready to be with you forever. And you guys seem to have a nice connection, and if it's play or if it's fun, then let that be your life.
You don't know about the connection that we've had, though. It hasn't just been all fun and play. It's genuine. We've gotten really deep. You've been so judgmental. I could tell you're giving me these eyes, and it's giving me so much anxiety because you brought me here. I'm just diving into this experience.
Sandy uses this because you issued the ultimatum. I'ma do you dirty and you can't say anything because you are the one who issued the ultimatum. And I have to say, Nick is right to see this and point it out, because Sandy is definitely trying too hard and she uses the excuse to the fullest. Caleb and Arya, they are they seem like the friendship, like it's a friendship. I can see a potential of it being a relationship. Scotty and Zaina, they are the most mature adults in the room at that time. Episode 2, Scotty chooses Zaina, and the way he talks about her is giving me the impression that he already thinks that the grass is green on the other side. Arya starts tearing up and is sitting there like she just watched her house burn down, because he says Zaina is just so much fun to be around and they connected really deep. Chanel and Dave, they are the easygoing connection that I talked about. Dave and Chanel seem like they're going to have the most emotionally intelligent trial marriage. Like they're doing this to explore how they can blend in with their partners and question each other. So they both have like their partners, and they like their partners, so they don't want to jeopardize this. So I don't think they would do anything stupid at this point. Mariah and Makai choose each other, and they just like that date was just boring. They're calm. Nick and Vanessa are giving us like the unexpected power couple energy. They seem like they're going to be the power couple. They're getting into the trial marriages. These people are living together, meeting their families, and having like a kind of deep conversations that most couples avoid for like 4 years. Nick does find out that JR and Sandy kissed because Sandy told him when they bumped into each other at Starbucks. I mean, this relatively has to be like a small town, a small city, for them to bump into each other, because if like doesn't make sense. It's the only one Starbucks. Luckily, he didn't freak out because he had Vanessa to talk to, and that gave him an extra bit of like emotional support. JR and Sandy are living in their own little bubble of intense connection. Their chemistry is undeniable, and they are having real life conversations about faith and couple goals. And JR opens up about his difficult childhood, and Sandy is there to support him, unlike Zaina, who hasn't been there. But honestly, he did not tell this to Zaina yet. Scotty and Zaina are having the most functional trial marriage, which is saying something. They're talking about issues also, like how Scotty's parents unconventional relationship and how it affects his trust issues. Zaina is giving him the validation and emotional maturity he's been craving. Episode 4 was crazy because it hits us with the fact that Vanessa, Dave, Chanel met together and they chose to leave.
I'm alone. Vanessa packed up her things and left. There was no goodbye.
I mean, like, they picked up their bag and went home. Ultimately, this left Nick and Mariah completely alone without partners, which honestly, it's an iconic move on their end, but it did ruin the whole experiment, because honestly, this led to more heightened senses of emotions, because the fact that you don't have someone to talk to, and meanwhile you're getting jealous and you don't know what the other person is doing. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for that move, it would have been an overall better season. But who's to judge? Because I love this drama. Caleb and Arya develop what they call a friendship, but anyone with eyes can see that there is more to it. Then we get to like the Nick, the Nick mayhem. I call it the Nick mayhem. So it deserves its own section because this man goes through a lot. So after finding out that JR met with Sandy's parents, I mean, he gets emotional.
I found out that JR had met Sandy's mom, and that rocked me.
And to be fair, I think it's because he didn't have that support at that time. He's worried because if JR has your girl, yo, it's child. Nick goes into a mental breakdown. The man literally shows up at their apartment demanding to talk to Sandy, and JR has to physically block him.
Okay, we're not doing this. You need to leave. You need to leave. Seriously, this is so not fair.
It's giving protective husband energy, which is a good thing, but he's applying it in the wrong way. And Nick is having a full breakdown. Sandy is just using the trial marriage as an excuse to explore deeper, and it's crazy. So every time Sandy will say like, yeah, I feel sorry for Nick, but at the same time, he did put me through this. So, and let's not forget, Mariah was also abandoned, but Mariah is very comfortable in her skin. These poor people signed up for love and got therapy instead. Episode 6 is where everything starts unraveling faster than a cheap sweater. The guys' night conversation reveals that everyone has been talking to everyone and suddenly nobody trusts anybody. I have to address JR and Nick's conversation. JR is still mad at Nick that Nick tried to ruin the whole experience.
I really am. And man, I made a big mistake. My entire life, I've never been this spun out. I've never seen this version of myself.
Yeah. I want to ask you why. Is it because she chose me?
Something that's really good with women that they do is that every time something happens, right? It's no matter if it's like the girl's fault, the woman's fault, or the man's fault, they'll always blame the man and say, what did he do, right? Which is something that men should do, but yeah, we just have that competitiveness.
Maybe I'm seeing things one-sided. I haven't talked to you. Only time I talked to you is when you came up to the apartment.
Yeah, that was
banging on the door, asking to talk to Sandy. I'm like, what the fuck? I lost all respect for you after that.
You realize that I'm not the only guilty party?
Well, tell me about it, because I don't know.
There's been a handful of I miss yous and a handful of, so okay. It's not one-sided.
So JR confronts Scotty, and this is peak reality TV drama. JR accuses Scotty of spreading rumors about him being here for a hall pass. And Scotty's like, what? I barely know you, bro. Wait, JR did say this in an interview. A private interview, but I don't know how it leaked out, that because he did say he is kind of here for a hall pass. Zaina and Scotty have their first major fight, and it's over the most ridiculous things.
Were you intimidated?
Hell no. You think I'm intimidated by JR?
No, I'm just like, it's a lot.
What relevance does that have to the conversation?
It's a lot of energy right now that you are taking out on me. So just separate that. I need you to take a moment. I need you to take some deep breaths.
I'm not taking it out on you.
Listen, I did nothing to you. Nothing is concrete about how he got information.
Why are you raising your voice?
Because you just went off. Like, check yourself.
So now we get to when the partners get to switch back to their original partners. This is where the tea spills. So the second phase of trial marriages is where this really hits hard. Everyone has to face their original partners and they have to confess of what they did, because it's going to be shown later on when it gets aired on television. So it's better to just say things now and get over it, especially if later on you get married, then the partner finds out by watching a clip or something that they kissed. Nick and Sandy have to navigate the aftermath of her connection with JR. Episode 7, Nick is trying to be mature about it.
I had some interesting things to talk about with Zaina.
Oh.
I don't know if you've been completely honest with me.
But you can see he's struggling. He's struggling. Sandy is trying to be present with him, but she's clearly processing her own feelings, which I don't know what her own feelings are.
Honestly,
Yeah, but women like to do this way.
so glad I found out. You're such a liar.
Not only do JR and Sandy kiss once, they kiss twice. And Nick finds out about it in the most chaotic way possible, through Zaina at a party. And he's devastated.
Babe, I love you.
I don't know how she found out about Sandy and JR kissing, because Sandy and JR did kiss again at a pool, but they were alone. But I think JR did tell her about it. So Sandy tries to explain that she was going to tell him after filming. And it's like, what? And Nick immediately sees this and says,
Cap.
so you're going to tell me after we got engaged? He would have definitely watched the show after they got engaged and married and found out, and Sandy was going to just gaslight him. Yeah, honestly, I think she was going to get away with this. If it wasn't for this mishap, she was going to get away. If they were married, yeah, you just gotta deal with it, buddy. She was just going to tell him you have to just deal with it, buddy. The conversation about the second case is brutal because it reveals how much Nick doesn't know. Now, decision day comes, and let me tell you, the outcomes are wild. Mariah and Caleb get engaged, and it's beautiful. Caleb writes her a letter about how her love scared him because she loved him more than he loved himself, but now he's ready literally crying over this man's growth. Yeah, whatever. Scotty and Aria also get married after working through their communication issues. This is where my heart breaks. Episode 9. JR chooses to leave alone because he doesn't feel ready to be a husband to Zaina, and feels that Zaina deserves more, which I think JR did the right decision here, because he's still in his prime, and now you want him to settle down because now you're not in your prime and you're hitting that wall whilst you enjoyed your 20s. I ain't doing that, buddy. And Nick, he decided not to propose at the last minute. So he was about to pull out something from his jacket. I'm not sure if it's a ring.
What are you doing?
But then he saw Sandy hesitating when he was about to pull out something from his pocket, and he just dished the proposal. What? And when I tell you, I screamed for my lungs to my capacity while I was watching this. I felt like he heard my voice. And then what made it better was when he decided to break up with Sandy.
I deserve to have somebody that's 100%. Don't you want to be 100% about somebody?
And Sandy was like, why? Why are you breaking up with me? We can work through this. Why are you doing this? And he just stood his ground and left.
I don't think there's anything left to talk about. This is too much.
Okay.
There's no more What are you babying? Thank you. Me too.
Man, this is the proudest moment in TV history, honestly, because I saw it that this was going to get cool, and the fact that he saw it and said no, yeah, let's break up. Yeah, I'm proud of this man. Yo, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. So season 3, so these are my final thoughts, right? We went through the whole season, yeah. Season 3 gave us everything. Genuine growth, messy drama, real connections, and heartbreaking endings. Everything compiled. Season 2 is OG, but it didn't have that same spark as season 3. Officially, there were 2 engagements, 2 breakups, and 2 people living single. This shows the full range of what can happen when you force people to confront what they actually want versus what they want. Well, this is what they think they want. I'm apparently addicted to other people's relationship drama at this point. But I think season 4 isn't going to come out, honestly. It's been years now and it feels like it is done, which is fine with me because it was a great season to end the show on. Overall, yeah, we don't want to drag the show.